German, you're watching Canal Algérie with this special program dedicated to the draft finance bill. Indeed, the draft law bill on recent reforms aim to maintain fiscal stability, boost growth including hydrocarbons and strengthen household purchasing power. Among the headlines measures are nearly 98,000 new jobs with major recruitment in education and health sector, while startups and incubators will benefit from extended tax relief and civil servants will benefit from interest-free house loans as well. And to debate and discuss all about this, I have the great pleasure to welcome our Algerian economist, Mr. Boudherba. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation and special welcome to all the Algerians.
Thank you, Mr. Boudherba. But before this, I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to watch this quick review about this draft with Manal Boubaga.
The 2026 finance bill outlines an ambitious budgetary policy for the next 3 years, highlighting an economic strategy geared towards diversification, recovery through investment and consolidation of social gains. A record budget estimated at 17,636,000.66 billion dinars, which is based on an economic growth of 4.1% in 2026, with a reference price per barrel set at $60. The GDP is expected to reach 41,900 billion dinars, of which 36,283 billions will come from hydrocarbons driven by agriculture, industry and construction. Inflation is expected to be kept under control at 2.9%, reflecting confidence in the recovery of the national economy and in the effectiveness of the structural reforms undertaken in recent years. Public investment, which is at the heart of the budgetary policy, will exceed $15,816 billion, or nearly 83% of the total budget. A direction that confirms the priority given to modernizing the country, economic recovery and improving the living conditions of citizens. Social spending amounts go up to 933 billion dinars, with a strong focus on priority fields such as health, education and national solidarity. This effort demonstrates the state's commitment to social justice. The FP provides for a 1.4 increase in the wage bill, represented 1/3 of the overall budget. A total of 657 billion dinars will be allocated to subsidize for the consumer goods and social transfers, reaching 2,284 billion dinars, with 420 billion for unemployment benefits and 424 billion for retirement pensions. On the fiscal front, the text introduces several measures, mainly a reduction in the tax rate on dividends from 15% to 10% and exemptions from the solidarity contribution for certain sectors, in line with the economic reforms of this FP. This is a pivotal year to lay the foundations for the new economy that is structured around productive investment, fiscal governance and diversification of revenue sources, thus reflecting the state's desire to maintain growth, reduce unemployment and preserve social cohesion.
Mr. Boudherba, so I think that with this report, with a quick review, I think that Algeria's economy on the draft has set the tone.
Yes, first of all, let me remind all our friends that it's very difficult to maintain a social welfare program and also economical objective, efficiency. We, as you know, we are entering in a transformation of our economy today, and we expect from our government to make all the facilities for the investor and the business community to take advantages of the new climate, the business climates, and all the facilities to create jobs, because this is the main objective of the government with 8,000, new creation of jobs. It's
nearly 98,000 new jobs.
Yeah, nearly 98,000.
Most of them in the health and educational sector.
We expect, the health also. We expect an opening in the private sector for the health, because we are talking about new investments in the health sectors.
Yeah.
So, and the research and development also for the health is very important. And this is the role of the startups, like you mentioned in the beginning of the reportage. So I think all these new measures are very important to take into consideration to reach the economical stability first, and creation of jobs, and also improving the wealth and the condition of our citizens in general. So, as you may know, our financial policy is based on hydrocarbon.
Exactly.
More than 80% of the revenues comes from oil and gas business.
Right.
But since 3 years now, we can say easily that the new economic policy driven by the president is to diversify our revenues.
Exactly. Having that said, Mr. Boudreba,
Yes.
having that said, how realistic is this draft 2026?
I think it's realistic if we maintain the objectives, which is to improve our business climates, first of all, to get the business investment back into the game. It's very important, and to create a certain stability in all the legal disposition of investments. I think it's very important because this is the three important things that an economy needs to perform. If you want to go to performance, economical performance, you have to have these three things that I just mentioned. If you want to perform and you want to go transform your economy, because Algeria, there has no reasons, we have all the conditions today to make all this possible and to transform our economy and to make people get used to have revenue outside from the hydrocarbons.
Yeah, talking about this, Mr. Boudreba, are there any risks relying on a $60 barrel?
I think Algeria has always done the financial bill with a fixed price, but also the price can sometimes can change. You know, you can, because it's a versatile market outside, and it's based on the demand of the oil or gas business. Well, we expect that the $60 is let's say a fair price for Algeria and for the consumer and for the producer. We think it's an average, a global average. I think it's is still a little bit high, but we expect to keep that high, and I think, but that doesn't mean that we don't have to look, like we said before, other key sectors. Today, you know that our industry is performing very well. Our agriculture is going back to business strongly. There is a big agriculture program and food control and the food policy of food efficiency. And this is very important for Algeria. This is the first time where agriculture is made as a priority in the economic policy. So I think, and also for the industry, I think this is the time to put all the industry potential to go to the outside market. You know, we have to promote our exports seriously. We have to create an export policy based on a win-win partnership with some partners. We have good partners in international trades. Historically, Algeria has, I think, a card to play in Africa, since our products are, the demand is there. We went to several African business trips, and we realized that our products are good and they have international standards.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is the stake.
Mr. Boudreba, yeah, exactly. But let's go back to the basis. All these, all these sectors, industry, agriculture, and so on, their fuel is the manpower. And according to you, according to you, what are the complementary measures that should be taken to stimulate private sectors, for instance, to go towards massive, let's say, important recruitment?
The new investment code
jobs
is clear about it. So let me remind to the Algerians that the new investment code made by the presidents since 1922 is very clear concerning the investments policy in Algeria. Everything is authorized, no differences between the public and the private sector. Everybody has to be protected by the law. Everybody has the same rights and obligation to the law to create jobs, to promote our industry or promote our agriculture. I think today is very clear that Algeria has begun to become, let's say, an efficient economy. This is why we have to understand that the objective is to transform our mentality. Algeria is not anymore a public sector or a private sector. It is a national economic sector based on a partnership, and I take the opportunity today to make a call for all the new projects in Algeria, industrial project, housing project, healthcare project, with to make a partnership with the Algerian first industrials and companies, Algerian companies. Why? It's not because it's just a call like that, a strategical or technical call, no. Because when you have an economy based on a trust between your own people, you can go outside very strongly. It's a message for the international community.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you give a united economic policy based on a trust and based on a win-win partnership between Algerians, you can make a call to foreign investments very easily. That's what made India, that's what became China, countries like Vietnam that are today visiting our country, they made this long process of getting all together hand to hand with an objective is to create jobs, promote our industry, promote our agriculture, and increase our standard of living. If we do that, if we succeed in our economic and national policy, we can have an international policy with a partnership win-win with our other countries. If we don't succeed internally, we cannot tomorrow have a diversified economy.
Yeah, talking about trust between
yes, very
private,
important.
Yes. Private and public sector.
Yes.
According to you, if the private sector will have a strong policy towards recruiting or creating new jobs, what would be their share?
It has to be open. The law is very clear about it. You see, when you have a very deep economic dialogue between all the Algerians, when you put the economical issues with the experts, when you associate and you call the business community to give to make proposals for sector by sector, because each of us is an expert in something. We cannot have an expert in everything. That's phase. So what is important is to have an objective. The objective is to succeed the transformation of our economy. And it's the most important thing because it's the most difficult thing to do. If you want to transform the mentality, if you want to go from a dependent oil and gas economy to a diversified economy based on international trade, based in a strong agriculture, based on in improving standard of quality of your industry, you have to go through an economical dialogue, very smart, very intelligent, based on a trust. So I think this is the time for all Algerians to work together and to achieve success all together.
Exactly. Talking about the diversification of the sectors.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you think this draft finance bill is supporting this?
I think we have signals that things are improving. For instance, when you see that they are talking about decreasing the tax concerning the benefits, that is good. That makes the business community to increase the investments. When you make healthcare and education as a priority, that means that Algerian government is very aware of the needs of the population. When you have subsidies that are directly toward low income population, targeted low income population, that means that you want to protect your economic stability. And if you don't have a stable political country, you cannot have a successful economy and policy. So I think the government has two sides of the story. The political stability, which is a requirement, and an economic policy based, of course, on social welfare, because Algeria has to protect we have to protect.
This is the policy
Our,
of the,
yes, of course. This is
Algeria.
this is the ADN
Exactly.
of our revolution. We became independent for that. We were for justice.
It's a legacy that.
So we have to base on justice. We have to base on protecting our citizens. We have to improve the power of purchasing of the Algerian. We have to create jobs and to make Algerian the condition of living in their country better and better. And all this is made by a smart and trusty economic dialogue between all the Algerians. Nobody knows everything. Nobody is perfect. We made mistake. What is important, let me tell you, Mr. Rafiq, is not to make mistake. It's not to make mistake again. That is most important, because when we made mistake in the past, we have to learn from our mistake in the past. Because today, let me tell you a very true thing, a true story. If we make the mistake of the past, we're going to pay it cash. And this time, we're going to pay it more expensive, because we cannot reproduce the mistakes of the past. We have to learn of our mistakes. We have to listen to each other and to choose, make a selection, which is the sector. Let me give you an example, very easy to make all the Algerians understand my point. We know that Algeria today is a power in the cement.
Okay.
We produce cement, we produce iron, we produce ceramic, we produce all the material that are needed.
The raw materials needed to.
All the material that are needed to build your house is 100% made in Algeria. What is the next objective? Is to take all these companies, all this potential, economic potential abroad.
Sell it.
Yeah, we have to sell the product. So in order to sell it, we have to make still, let me tell you, a small effort in the foreign policy concerning the hard currency. Because we Algerian, our companies, they have to go overside, they have to go to international markets with the law. We have to go there, pushed and supported. And
within a frame.
We have to have all the legal, let's say, a legal institution behind you.
A legal frame.
And also we have to have the diplomatic apparatus. All the apparatus, diplomatic apparatus, has to be organized to support our economic expansion abroad.
Exactly. The government has included these last couple of years a new sector to update and go ahead and further with the different other sectors. That's true. Which, namely, the startups.
The startup, yes.
Yeah. So, are the current incentives for startups and innovation, sufficient according to you to make them go faster and to boost them?
I think we did incredible things in the startups. When you see 5 years ago, how was Algeria? And you see today, the startup sector is one of the most moving sector and the most attractive sector for the youth. And that is important. And we don't have to be afraid of that. At the opposite, we have to open our economy to these people. We have hundreds of thousands of students coming out in the labor market. And they have to have a chance to, manage all this research and development and all this technology which is available in the world. Algeria has to open their mind to the world and to work with the world and to let the Algerian genius to produce, to produce things.
It's worth mentioning that it's one among the easy sector to be exported.
Yes, services is very important. Look, there are countries. I always take the example of Tunisia. So Tunisia has no oil and gas. They don't have hydrocarbon. They have tourism and services. Today, Tunisia is an example for the startups. Is an example for the managing of the ports. Is an example for us to the management of the finance and banking system. The finance and banking system is ahead of us, and it's not a shame to say it. we have to work together, we have to learn from the Tunisian, and we have to make partnership with them and to go together to conquer the African market. I think this is also the case with the Egyptian. We have to do things with the Egyptian because today the economy of the Egyptian economy is becoming very strong in Africa. We have good relation with Turkey. We have to work with Turkey. Turkish today is the door for East Asia,
yeah.
for the deep Europe also, deep Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So all this all these links, economic links, we have to take advantage of it because Algeria, when you see the geostrategical position of Algeria in the Mediterranean Sea, Algeria is a door between Europe and Africa. Why not to organize our economy in that direction? Let's make all the decision toward our friends, Turkish, Egyptian, Tunisian, and to go with partnership and to go with experience. When we don't have experience, it's not a shame. The opposite. Algeria has a good today has a good quality. Yeah, has good knowledge in the industry, and also we have competitive advantages because we have a lot of energy. So producing in Algeria is cheaper than producing in several countries in the region. So it's a win-win partnership. We have to think about it, do it, and not do it alone.
Having that said,
yes.
Mr. Boudelban, we talk about energy. What about now? How could be the contribution of the startups and incubators helping the energy transition?
It's very important. They can play a very important game, in the solar energy, because in China the startups, they help the solar energy to become a very powerful industry. Mm-hmm. If you go to China and you visit the solar plants, all the solar plants were made by the universities. They started to produce the alternative energy and solar energy in the university first, and then they created companies which are today one of the most important things. And they have now companies, solar company, Chinese solar company in California. So this is
right. Now the question is, to what extent does this draft 2026 is going within this policy?
I think it's a door. Yes, I think it's an opening door to think differently. I know that some people they said no, it's still the same way of thinking. No, I think we have a duty to protect our low-income citizens. We don't have to forget. We don't have to let people next to the road. We cannot. Everybody has to take the economic train. Il faut embarquer, embark everybody in the train. So we need a social welfare. We cannot avoid. This is our, like we said before, our base historical conviction.
Yeah, this is.
So, but I think there are new things. They are the tax reducing tax for the new investment is important. I think we still have to work a little bit more to increase trust between the Algerian. I think this is the time between the Algerian to talk about the use of hard currency in a legal way. So Algeria will go outside, an Algerian company will go outside with all, with all the legal, services.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier about the agriculture sector. How can agriculture sector contribute to the diversification of the economy?
Yeah, for the agriculture there is two things. First, there is the agriculture related to the agro industry. Let's say the manufacture of milk. So I think we cannot do it alone. And the Algerian understood that we can do it with partnership. Mm-hmm. And today at Italia and Qatar, partnership is working. So we're expecting this project to open very soon. I think with this project, this will give an idea for other kind of partnership with other, for example, for the wheat, for the tournesol, which is important for Algeria, for the grape. I think Algeria has a good potential in grape. We were before a strong producer of grape. We have to come back to it. We cannot do it alone because we lost the technology. But I think Algeria agriculture, when you see the landscape and when you see the solar, the solar potential and the water in the south, I think we can realize unbelievable things together with our partners.
All right, Mr. Boudaoua, we come to the end of the edition. What are your expectations from this new draft law?
Okay, I expect
briefly.
Yes, I expect the rebirth of the trust. Very important, because we need to boost.
You're underlining the word trust.
Yes, we need to boost our investments, because investments means job positions, creation of jobs and wealth for all the Algerians. And I think Algeria can do it with a lot of, let's say, intelligence, with an economical dialogue based on listening everybody.
Mr. Boudaoua, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for these interesting details. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our edition. I do thank you very much for watching us. Stay tuned.